Santa right now. So good thing.
Let's go.
No,
Let's go.
I clicked to go live.
Is it live? Are we live? Hello?
Yes, we're live. We're live,
We're
okay.
live. Hey, Santa, we're live on YouTube. Emily's got us going. Emily, you gonna come on camera? What are we doing here?
Yeah, in a second I have to go check something on the stove, but I'll be coming on in a
All right,
second here.
she's cooking. We're gonna have the cooking channel today, Santa. What do you
We're
think
gonna
about
have a
that?
cooking channel. Awesome. How goes the battle?
It goes pretty good. We're having a fun day today. We had our captain's meeting as usual with Edwin, with Don Crumlin and Debbie Miller. So lots of good things happening at the Happy Neighbor Project, and we're about a half hour away from leaving to go to the lake. So
Going to the lake.
yeah, we got a water ski practice tonight. Unique to this year. They added on that our club is doing Monday practices now, 42 years later. After we started, we've done some in the last couple of years. We did some Wednesday practices to add a practice night, but now they're going with Mondays. It seems to be the
First
night to do it.
first time on the lake for practice, or
No, no, no. We've been on for a month and a half. We started the beginning of May with practice.
there was still ice on the lake.
Well, there
But
you
are you getting
go.
the skis and you chopping the ice as you're going down with the boat or what?
Yeah, we just get out the ice skates and we just plow. We just go to plow ahead of us, you know?
Awesome. There you go. Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of exciting. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it was
Yeah, so
kind of
you,
weird because it just Mother Nature wouldn't let go this year in Minnesota anyway. And we had that 1 week of really warm, and then it went back and it was cold and miserable. And they're finally, oh, there's your other half.
yes, indeed.
Hello, Miss Sue. Holy moly, she's home early today.
Yeah, well,
Well, somebody said skiing, so you gotta get in the game when somebody says it's time to ski.
Well, there you go. That sounds exciting. That could be a little bit different and a lot of fun. So is your daughter one of the stars on the skis this year?
yeah, yes,
Very much
indeed,
so.
Santa. Yeah.
Cool.
Is she still like the junior director or whatever
Yes,
too, or no?
We
ma'am.
got
Mhm.
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
H joining us today.
Well, I
There
didn't
you
know you
go.
were here, and when I found out, I said I got to come see my buddy.
There you go. I appreciate that muchly.
Yes, we need to get more people here.
I know we do. And I don't know why.
You
Peter
don't know why you
wasn't,
got to have more people here?
yeah, Peter wasn't sure if he was going to make it or not. He'd been up since 4:30 this morning and he had a pretty productive day. And it wasn't raining there today for something weird that doesn't happen. He said if yesterday, he said if the weather forecast held on like it was predicted till the end of the month, it was going to be raining 26 out of 30 days in Scotland today, where he was.
Yep.
That's definitely not a lot of fun.
Well, the
Yeah, that's
weather
a
is
little too
like that.
much.
The weather is like that all over the world.
Yep. Look at that. We got Emily even on screen today. Woohoo.
Who's that
So,
guy behind you? Yeah, who's he?
That was that was Robert Butwood. We do a show with him. I still had his thing back up.
you know Robert Butwin, don't you, Dr. H?
I do. I was just being facetious.
Absolutely. He's quite the interesting character.
He's a hell of a guy. Sue, do you
So,
go out there when it snows too? You go out there in the
are you
Oh,
on
snow?
I'm
skis this
sorry.
year,
I thought I
Miss
was
Sue?
muted. Uh, actually, I'm not at this point. I had enough pain issues over the end of last year. Actually, I hear a dog barking like crazy in the front. I had some issues from an old injury that it's kind of had gotten worse. So I'm actually boat crew for this season just to give my muscles a rest. And so far, so good. I think it was the right answer.
So are you going to be a
What
boat
was the
captain?
question? No, I'm doing
if I
them.
was on skis.
Oh,
Oh, here, hang on. I'll be right back.
So, is this your first time or your second time
for what?
for your meeting?
Oh no, I've been doing this for a year. You were on it a month ago.
No, I just found out about this
I do this the
Saturday.
first and third Mondays of the month. But yeah,
Connie,
Emily, it's got to be close to a year now.
Something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, I think it was
Seems about right. Seems about right.
June something last year that I started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what can we do about getting more people here?
I don't know. I
So if
really
you
don't know.
yeah, if you wanna say something about it to people, promote it a little bit, Dr. Harvey. Uh,
Ask me, I'm
or
the rainmaker.
okay.
You know what a rainmaker is, Emily?
I think so. I thought I did, but
Tell me.
uh, I'm not sure. The moment if you want to refresh my memory, because now I
A,
don't know
a
what I have to
rainmaker,
do.
a rainmaker is a guy in the organization who brings in business.
Oh, okay.
There you go. A different terminology for the same word,
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be an Indian who does a dance.
right?
That too.
Kurt's showing his favoritism to the losing team.
Stop picking on me, Santa. Boy, you deliver all this coal, put me on the naughty list. Now you beat me down for being a Packer fan. Sound like Sajad, I tell you what.
Well, what can you say, right? Everybody hates Packers.
As Sajad said, he's concerned for my mental health. So there's a
Absolutely.
lot behind this story.
Yeah.
I would be concerned for his mental health.
Well,
Oh,
I
wait.
think Emily
Does he
wants you
have any
to.
mental health to be sorry for?
I'm
I'd be
sorry, say
concerned
that
with
again.
both. I'd say concerned with both of your mental health.
He's
Well,
quite the interesting character for sure.
not about me because I've got the keys. Don't forget that. I got the keys.
But you got the keys for what? Is the
Crazy
big
house.
question.
I'll lock you up, put you away for 90 days. We'll just take
Oh,
a look at you. Just sit there, take. Yeah, see, they did away with that here in
oh,
Texas.
okay. Back in the olden days.
That's when I quit practicing
Ah,
because
I
you could
see.
you could you could do an awful lot if you had somebody who was agitated, they were depressed, they were threatening all kinds of stuff. You put them on a ward for 72 hours. And when they come out, they go, man, they're really crazy people in there, aren't there? I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the state of Texas took that away. And
Really?
yeah, can't do that anymore. And people, now I don't know if they put it back, but they took it away back in the 90s. And I said, I don't want the liability. Because if you have somebody and you think they're dangerous,
Yes.
just think, you have to report it. And if you don't report it, you're liable for the consequences. And I was treating adolescents at the time. I just didn't want that liability.
Yeah. Yeah. That's been without getting too political, that is a big problem with our society right now is there's not a lot of consequences for bad actions. There's too many slaps on the hands and said don't do it again, and 24 hours are repeating.
I happen to think you're right. I know you
Yeah.
wouldn't think that by what I do, but I think you're right.
Well, it even goes back to students and teachers. Teachers cannot reprimand a student anymore for doing what they shouldn't be doing. And so they can continue to keep doing it. And they've taken the control away from the teachers, which is a very sad state of affairs.
Well, as my son's middle school principal said, they've replaced John Wayne with Sue You.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And the problem is, because I've been on both sides. The problem is the school has their hands tied. So you either are going to have to go all the way or do nothing at all.
Yep.
And what happens is that allows some of these teachers who play with less than a deck of cards the opportunity to be sadistic, and
Yep.
there are sadistic teachers,
Oh, yeah.
and most of these kids, if you just sat down and you touched them, they would calm down.
Yep. Yep.
Well, anyway,
Yeah,
but
we
you're
could go
absolutely
on
right.
for a couple hours on that subject for sure, you know, and it's not the best.
No.
But I will tell you, Dr. H, you might get a little excited about this. I met with a young lady last week who's now going to be, as of July 1st, going to be the new president of the PTA for a big school board that really works with special needs children's in Arizona. And I'm going to be reading stories. And we is it was just going to be a normal, she pays me and I'm going to read stories to the school, and then we started talking about the different roles the PTA play in the school board, and how the PTA doesn't have a lot of money to provide some of the things that the PTA should be doing for the students. So I turned it around and I said, well, let's turn this into a fundraiser. And she says, well, what are you thinking? And I says, well, if there's 7 schools, anywhere from 2 to 400 kids in the schools, so that's, potentially, 2,500 students. And I said, if we get 1,000 of those kids to turn up to a reading, if we charge the parents a whole whopping $1 and say it's a fundraiser for the PTA, at 5 nights of reading, we could raise potentially $5,000 pretty easily for the school board PTA. She loved the idea, and we're going to go ahead with that. So it's pretty exciting how I'm going to help the PTA do a fundraiser by me reading stories to the kids.
Wait, doesn't each school have a PTA?
This one doesn't, because it's a smaller school, so that um, I think she said she oversees all 7 schools. They each has a sub PTA, but then she oversees the general PTA for all the schools.
It's a
So
great idea that you have.
yeah, and it's a win-win situation. It's not just going to be a normal night, because she was going to pay me out of her pocket and say, no problem, I donate to the school anyway to help with their fundraising. And I said, well, wait a minute here, let's turn this around. And then what we'll do is we'll give the parents an option to pay 1, 2, 5, or $10, whatever they choose to pay. Some will pay that, I can't afford to pay. Well, we're still going to let those children on the ability to read stories, or to listen to the stories that I'm reading. So we're going to do a 30-minute session of reading stories, and it's going to be in the evening so they can do it from their house. And it's going to be a win-win, because it's going to be a fundraiser for the PTA.
You know what else would be nice if you went into the elementary schools, and I don't know whether they go from K to 5 or K to 6, but if they were to let you read a story, they had to see you, just let you read a story. This would be something that the kids would get a benefit for being good. Santa
Yeah,
would read them a story.
yeah,
They don't have to
yeah.
see you because they all have PA systems.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that could be an interesting way to do it. So now I'm going to approach some school boards with some PTAs and say, hey, I've got a great fundraiser that, could really open up the doors. And it's really not that much of a logistical nightmare. It could be pretty easily to be accomplished.
I think
You
it would
know?
just I think it would just be neat that
Yeah,
Santa reads us stories
yeah, yeah,
because every little kid loves Santa Claus.
yes,
It's just
And
it's
the
a
number of
rea
schools out there that have organizations like that, if you can create a model situation like that and say, look how it worked here. Whew,
yeah,
now you're talking. They like to know that it's going to work, right?
yeah,
So
absolutely,
that's
Sue.
huge.
Yeah. And of
Actually,
course,
believe it or not, I spent, oh, go ahead.
they start school in August, so we're going to start this middle of August. So it'll be, we'll get two readings in the middle of August, the middle of September, before a lot of schools in the northern part of the country even go to school.
That's huge.
Yeah,
That's right. That's about when we
and
start school.
I said to Lori that we're going to emphasize that the parents give some recommendations, not only to the PTA, but to hopefully onto my website. So it could be a win-win situation for both parties.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was several years I actually was part of our school home and school board, and that's if there's something that comes in that's a proven fundraiser, good for everybody, it's activity. You're in the right place.
yeah. Well, I know our little town, you go to the high school and they've got a $30,000 sound system on their football field. That was paid for the parent booster club, which is another
Mm-hmm.
form of a PTA. They've got the rubberized running track around the football field. They've got three-hole golf course. They've got fully lit up baseball diamonds. That was all paid for by the PTA and the booster
Yeah.
club. So it doesn't
Oh,
affect the school board and the school board's funding.
so you live in a
Makes
wealthy
a big
area.
difference.
Not really a wealthy area,
Huh.
but you don't plan anything without going to the school board and finding out their schedule first.
Well, down here, our stadiums are what the Cowboys Stadium looked like 40 years ago.
Really?
We oh God, they got the lights, the boards, they're edifices. They really are. And and
Wow.
if you're in junior high school and you're going to play on that field, I know, man, it's a rush. But down here, they all compete, and
Yeah,
football is a really big thing in Texas.
yeah,
Sort of like basketball is up north.
yeah. Well, you know, coming from Canada to the same size of town to where I am now in Minnesota. And, you talk to the teachers here at the school because when we first moved here, my kids were 16 and 17 when we moved here. And, the school's got an indoor swimming pool. It's got a track. It's got lit up tennis courts. It's got a lit up baseball field. But you talk to the teachers and say, well, this school is 50 years old. It's dilapidated and it's outdated and it doesn't have very good facilities. And I went, my hometown would kill for a school like this. So it all depends on what you perceive. And then, and like say in Texas, some of these schools have, 20,000 people football fields with bleachers and sound
No,
systems
no,
and
no,
lights.
they're bigger than that.
Oh yeah. The
They're
high
they're they're
schools?
bigger than that. The high schools, yeah, they're bigger than that.
Holy crap.
The colleges are 80,000,
Yeah, the colleges are 80,000, 90,000.
and
I knew
and
that.
and the schools go anywhere from 25 to 40,000 people. You have to remember we've got schools down here. We are producing athletes,
Yeah.
and when you go out and you get, say, somebody from Richardson and somebody from Plano, that's going to put 25, 30,000 people in there. They'll run out of seats.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
It's a
It's
big
on a
thing
whole
here.
nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What in my old high school, 70, 80, I don't know, 75 years, 65 years later, still has the same set of seats, but they got a new scoreboard.
Yeah.
And I think that just shows you where people put their emphasis.
Yeah.
If you see the
Well,
movie Friday Night Lights, that's real.
yeah. Haven't seen it, but heard about it. Yeah.
I think,
Yeah. In the South, the sports is a whole other level of, you know, uh,
yeah, but what about basketball? I mean, when I lived in Indiana for a couple of years, I was there. I think for 8 years, I was there over a 2 year period. No, it doesn't come out right. It seemed like I was there for 10 years, but I was only there for two. But basketball is a really big thing.
yeah,
And it's not that way in Minnesota or Wisconsin.
it is, but it's, well, I shouldn't say Brainerd's probably their gymnasium for basketball could probably hold 1,000 or 1,500 people, I think.
Um, I, I just, I know about the basketball they had at Indiana University, and I know about basketball at Michigan. I mean,
Yeah,
those are big, big states.
yeah. Well, look what Caitlin Clark's done for the women's basketball. I mean,
Have
that's
have you read
phenomenal.
have you read about what happened to her?
Not lately.
I better not say because I didn't quite understand it, but apparently, um, what she has done single-handedly for women's sports,
Yeah,
and the manager or the coach of the team like pulls her out, benches her. And I don't know why. I could take a guess.
yeah. Well, I sort of giggled because I did see a report the other day that she gets paid like $60,000 a year for playing basketball, and her endorsements are 25 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but look what she's done for women's sports.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, just even the last 2 years of her college, I mean the
We were watching the games.
the
Yeah, we were
crowds that
watching
were
it.
showing up were absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. And you know what now we have volleyball, which is a women's sport.
Yep. And they just brought out professional women's volleyball
Right,
sport.
right. We just had
Yeah.
had that open up here. I said, I'll go to that. I love volleyball.
Yeah.
I think volleyball is a great sport.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's a team sport, you know,
Absolutely.
so it's not going to be just one, but it'll be interesting to see how the world soccer, how much that changes the image of soccer in the US. It's
Well,
been growing exponentially in the last 5 years, but this could be the catapult that really triggers the soccer in the US.
I I'm thinking that perhaps it'll make football a little bit less because
Well, I seen
football
an
has got.
interesting statistic yesterday that, everybody was bragging that the Super Bowl halftime is the biggest thing in the world and blah, blah, blah. And they said it was 600,000 people watched it this year. And the world soccer opening ceremonies the other day was 1.4 billion, over double.
Well,
The
I think
whole
that
world. Yeah. When you get the soccer stadiums in South America that are 80, 90, 120,000 people that are sold out every soccer match, that's incredible.
Papa, don't you know that what we have in this country is the very best, and there's nothing that's going to be better than what we have? Oh, where did I say that? The
Oh, yeah.
arrogance, the
Yes.
arrogance, right?
Uh-huh. Remember, I'm an outsider and I see all these different things in a different light. I'm a Canadian.
A Canuck.
I'm a Canuck. Absolutely. And, oh, Mariana Waikiki is joining us.
Now,
Hola.
Hola.
hola, hola.
What?
So, hi everybody. So, speaking of volleyball, we play volleyball in my pool here, and I want to share some exciting stuff that happened this last week. Santa Papa John. This is a picture of Dr. Mauricio from Mexico City. He moved upstairs, so I actually have two veterinarians living upstairs for me now, and pretty exciting. And he's doing a project with CRIFs, CRIFF, with the turtles, and he's doing what they call a social work. I don't know if it's an internship, but he has been here for a week, and we went to the farmers market with him, and we did a paint party. And the paint party people Wednesday were actually painting pictures of turtles, Santa Papa John, to sell in the Crifts bookstore. So there's a little picture of one of from one of the painters, and he came down and I introduced him to Alex from the restaurant. And then they went out fishing the next day. There's some fishing tournaments, the Dorado, and they caught a sailfish. And so then he came back, and I decided that I was going to set up the TV outside the pool, and we had the best VIP seats in
Nice.
Mexico, according to me. So yeah, so we put the TV up. We're gonna do it Thursday again, and yeah, put the pool lights on, and we bought a bunch of fresh vegetables and stuff. So I'm showing my salsa recipe talents, which is just basically cut up vegetables, and yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Good community work. So he was out last night working with the turtles again. So I can't wait to hear all about these stories. And I know you're a fan of turtles, Santa Papa John.
Sure am. Yeah, I'm these stories of the garbage in the oceans that are affecting the wildlife is just heartbreaking, and how some of these sea turtles and even some of these whales that get tangled up in these fish nets, it's just, yeah, we got to start doing better because these animals are just trying to live a life and then they get caught up in some of this crap, and yeah, they struggle until hopefully someone can find them or they drowned.
Yes, and that's tough for an animal to drown
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
ocean.
absolutely. Yep. And I actually seen one yesterday that a big sea turtle was wrapped around the neck and fins, and it could barely even it could barely even swim because it was so stuck in this crap.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
Boynton Slat just came out with the ocean cleanup. They give me a newsletter, and this is a solar powered um, boat that is like a trailer that has a conveyor belt on it and is cleaning up the ocean. So my writer Suzanne Sims sent this to me, and this is from
Wow.
the LA River. 143,000 pounds of rubbish from entering the Pacific from the LA River. So there's a photo of the ocean cleanup of what Bryant Slat is doing.
Yeah, that's pretty ugly. Pretty ugly.
But pretty ugly, but they're making progress, Santa Papa John. You got to think about
Well,
it that way.
the proverbial one boatload of trash at a time.
There you go. There
And
you
what did I see?
go.
Mr. Beast has that boat that just hit 5 million pounds of trash. It was just taken out of the ocean. That's pretty phenomenal because it was just started out as a joke, and we'll do a couple of weeks, and a couple of weeks turned into a couple months, and a couple months has turned into a couple years, and they just hit another milestone of, yeah, it was 5 million pounds of trash taken out of the ocean. Yeah.
You just I think it's like I'm gonna go to the arboretum and I'm gonna pick a flower because it's not gonna make a difference.
Right.
But if everybody picks a flower, soon there won't be any flowers to pick.
There won't be
I
any
think people
flowers.
think that way about, a cup or throwing trash in.
Yep. 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 Well, now it's you're getting the government sponsoring some of these groups and organizations that are helping clean up. It's becoming phenomenal on how much they're actually taking out of the ocean. And there's a good example of it right there, 143,000 pounds. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine how much 143,000 coming out of the water is. I've hauled dump trucks of, many thousands of different stuff, but
Here's a question. Where do you think they're going to put it?
yeah, yeah. Well,
Be,
hopefully it'll go through a recycling container first and recycle some of the crap that they can use before it ends up into a landfill.
but they're running out of landfills, and
Yep.
China isn't buying our crap anymore. China
No.
used to buy all of this,
Yeah.
and China is in a world of hurt
Yep.
because they cannot sell their cars.
Nope.
I would like to see us have an opportunity to buy a Chinese electric car,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that won't happen.
No. Not in our, well, maybe in our lifetime that we've got left, Mal. You got a few years on me, Doc, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Well,
Supposedly they just made a big deal with Canada. They're going to bring in a bunch of them into Canada.
yeah, and you can't even go to Canada to buy them and bring them into this country.
No. No.
So if you live on the border and your car needs service, I guess you could go back to Canada and get it serviced. But
Yeah.
that's because of old Elon Musk, who's now a trillionaire.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
We certainly had misplaced um, priorities.
But you can't, I don't know, you got to look at it twofold. You can't cut them down for being an entrepreneur and creating companies that are working in this world.
I want to tell you something. I admire him, and I admire him what he did because he put his money to good use. He
Yep.
made a lot of money, but he put it to good use. I
Yep.
mean, SpaceX.
Yeah, and he's pretty humble. He's pretty humble compared to the boys toys, so to speak. So we were just discussing that with the captain. And yeah, so because of the IPO that happened and everything, but you don't see him on these mega yachts
No.
doing more
No.
climate change damage or anything. He's being the proactive, so to speak. And I been listening to Doctor of Detox, Dr. Harvey, every morning now, and talking about his Tesla glasses to keep out. That's him. I watch him on Facebook. He's a too, but his Tesla new glasses that keep out the Blu-ray that's supposed to help you. So I'm learning a little bit more about that right now.
Are they
So this
self-adjusting?
is who I'm listening to, Dr. Detox.
Yeah, but are the glasses
Pardon me?
self-adjust? Are the glasses self-adjusting? They actually make
I'm
glasses
not
now
sure.
that somehow, I don't know, they focus whether you're near or far. You don't have to have trifocals like I've got.
Really?
Really.
That's
Now,
interesting.
don't buy them on the internet. I mean, I don't see Amazon. Well, I don't know if Amazon sells these or not, but they they they're a big thing, and and I hope they do because these lenses that I have cost $400 a piece.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's great to say American technology is great, but American greed is also so powerful. And the stories I'm hearing about this World Cup soccer, you
hmm,
know, going into New York, a train ride to an NFL football game is $13. But because it's the World Soccer, it's now $90 for the exact same train ride. Why?
um, what they'll tell you is you make it while you can.
Yeah,
When the strike while the iron is hot,
yeah.
and this is only it won't come back around here. And somebody's got to pay for Trump's peace trophy.
Yeah.
And that really, I mean, the Olympics are the same way. They are riddled with graft and
Oh,
corruption.
it's going to be interesting to see if they get LA cleaned up in time.
How do you mean?
Well, with all this homelessness and
What
all this fire area that's still all burnt, that's all tied up in red tape and blue tape and green tape. And I think they've got, I read they have 6 houses out of the 1,500 that are being built right now because the rest are all tied up in building permit politics.
hmm.
I haven't been following it too much, but every now and then one of them pops up on my feed, and I'm going, "Yeah." And the Olympics are in what, 2 years, and they've still got to build some facilities and clean up a lot of the downtown area. Yeah, good luck with that.
We've got a homeless area, but what are we going to do with them?
Yeah, I agree. Homeless, but they're given 3 grand a month, and they're given cell phones, and they're given this, that, and everything else. Why do they need to go any, their tent is suffice, and why do they need to go anywhere else? I don't have all the answers. I'm not saying I do, but something has to change because it's not the way it's going right now is definitely not the right projection.
I'm not sure what can hmm. I'm not sure what they can do with all the homeless people. they're I can come up with ideas and my wife can do an excellent job at just tearing it down.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that the tiny home communities
Yep.
that are built out in the unincorporated areas
Yep.
where they don't have the zoning laws,
Yep. That's
they
a
have
good start.
it is.
Absolutely.
And you could put a couple of hundred people out there and they can grow their own food, which is not a bad idea anyway.
Yeah.
And if you put up the right communication, there are people out there who can work from their house. But
Yeah.
most of these people are mentally ill.
Yeah.
And you can't go up to a mentally ill person and say, I know what's good for you.
Well, I just did a networking group with another group this afternoon, and they're putting together a whole website to provide services and ideas and suggestions. And we're really targeting that 18-year-old that's been in the foster system since they were 6 and 5 and 4 years old, and now they turn 18, they kick them out, but they still need all kinds of services. But because they've turned 18, they don't meet the criteria, but yet they need services. So how do you deal with that? Because all of a sudden it's like, well, how do we get their names? Well, their names they're not in our system anymore because yesterday they turned 18.
Well, that's
So,
not true.
well, I don't know all the answers. I'm just saying I'm hearing different things. And you do hear a lot of stories of 18, 19, 20-year-olds that suddenly are living on the streets because they don't get the services that they require because they don't, they slip into the cracks. Mental health is a huge issue in this country. We can't solve it tomorrow, and we can't solve it definitely today.
But I will tell you this. If we fix people's diet, we could go a
Yeah,
long way.
yeah.
And we could do that if we got rid of big pharma
Yeah.
and the food companies, the food General Mills, uh, Procter and
Another
Gamble.
another big one I said to someone else the other day that would be really interesting is change all the hospitals to nonprofit.
Well,
Then they would
I
go back to solving being doctors again instead of pill pushing.
I'll tell you this. One of there's a guy in my high school class. He God help not now I won't say it. The guy thinks he's really smart. And so he says the left wants Medicare for all.
Yep.
So I wrote him and I said, well, what do you think would happen to Medicare? Because they're talking about how it's broke and it's going to be done by 2030. What
Right.
do you think would happen to Medicare if we made the qualification age, we lowered it to 55? What do you think would happen? And
Yep.
then I said, what do you think would happen if we had Medicare for all? A system similar to Canada. What would that mean? Well, that would mean, for one thing, when a doctor submits a bill, he's got to figure in how much of it is going to get cut. That's why it's so high.
Yeah.
That's why medical costs are so high,
Yep.
because they keep making it doesn't cost the guy that money that he's billing you. They know that
Well,
when
I'll give you
when
an
they get these
example of that.
HMOs.
I'll give you an example of that exact scenario. My daughter-in-law used to work at the doctor's office, and she was in the billing department. So to walk in, now this was probably 15 years ago, but to walk in and say I had a sore throat and I needed the doctor just give me because I've got a sore throat and I need a little bit of antibiotics. Well, it was $56 to walk in the door without insurance if you're paying cash. It was 400 if you were paying with insurance.
I said $56 isn't really bad.
Right.
That's not a
But-
bad price.
But the copay for a lot of people was 25%, so it was $110 or whatever the number was, $100. So why would you go in and say you had insurance if it's going to cost you $100 copay when you could walk in and say, well, I don't have any insurance, it's going to cost you 56 for cash? Tell me the reasoning of that thinking right there. It doesn't make any logical sense at all.
No, it
Nope.
does. It does to the medical profession.
Right.
And you can't tell which came first, the chicken or the egg.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You can't tell.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The reason, I mean, I've seen how it goes. And at first I thought they were cutting my bills because I wasn't an MD. Hell, they cut them for everybody. It
Yeah.
didn't make any difference. And it's a game. And what I had to do is I had to start sending my bill. What's that when you get the green card back where they sign for it? Return receipt requested. Certified
Yeah.
mail return receipt. Now, that was fine. It didn't cost me a lot because I didn't see that many people. But it increased the amount of money. Now, the thing is, they would say, we didn't get your bill. Well, they would get it and they throw it in the wastebasket.
Yep.
And all of that, it's the reason I left. I got tired of playing that. I said,
Yeah.
you know what? I work. I help these people. I provide a service and I provide a reasonable fee for my service. I didn't get rich from it. I provided it and I put people to work.
Yeah.
I don't need you to come along and tell me that what I do is unreasonable and unnecessary. So
My first experience with a US doctor is I had to go for a checkup. I had to go get a medical to see if I was going to be a burden on the US healthcare system. Well, this old time doctor, he was your age and he was still practicing. And there was a knock on the door. And excuse me, doctor, I've got a problem out here with a patient. He's been sitting out here for 45 minutes and he's waiting for his x-rays and still not getting the x-rays. And this old doctor looks at me and he says, excuse me, John. He says, I got to go deal with this. I'll be right back. So he goes out the door and the door was partly open and he says, okay, I've got nurse 1 and nurse 2. You figure out which one I'm going to fire when I get finished with this patient, because now you've upset this patient and he's not going to come back. So I'm not going to be able to keep one of you employed. And so he was going to fire one of the nurses because his patient was unhappy with the service that he was requiring. And that was the first time that I had seen, because in Canada, you walk in, you wait your turn and you go in, doctors get paid, nurses get paid, not a big deal. Here they treat it as a business. And it gave me a whole different concept of the doctor treating it as a business. So respecting the patient, but respecting the doctoring business. But it went hand in hand that you still have to treat your patients with respect and kindness so that they'll come back.
what happened was in the late 70s. They made healthcare a commodity.
Yeah.
And that's when the whole thing fell apart. And we you don't pay in Canada, they don't pay in Canada what we pay here.
Right. Don't pay anything in Canada unless you're in Alberta, and they've created a two-tier system.
I think I would like to see Medicare for all because I think it would lower prices. It would lower the fees. It would keep people, it would be healthier because people could go in. I mean, I love my Medicare. I I could go in, when I hit my head, that bill for the 4 hours I was in the emergency room was probably close to $10,000.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't have to pay it. I didn't even pay a deductible. But I pay for that. Not paying for not to have to pay for deductible. But I think if we had Medicare for all, we wouldn't see this constant churn. You're going to cut my bill. I'm going to increase my bill. I'm going to cut it more. I'm going to increase it more. And it's just a vicious cycle. And that's really why the costs are so high.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you got to pay somebody to do the billing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question. I know we're kind of wrapping up to the end here, Santa Papa John, but Dr. Harvey, you're going to have your own podcast, I heard.
I do have my own.
And what's the name and what's the topic and who are you looking for guest speakers? What are we gonna for the health of it, right?
Yeah. On the second and fourth Thursday at 11 o'clock Central. And we have I just started working on the lady that's coming today.
Yeah, you've had some good guests coming on there, Dr. H.
I do.
Yeah. The ones we've had have been good. So
Well,
I'm sorry, could you say the time again? I couldn't hear that. I'm having ear problems.
11 o'clock Central
11 Central. Okay.
at this address. Oh, no. Well, yeah, you can get there at this address too, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I have mine and you have, yeah, we do it at both. Okay.
And you said the first and third Thursdays?
Second and fourth.
Oh, second and fourth, sorry.
And we got this month or this one coming up. I have a lady who is a healer, and she's going to talk about energy. Now, the next month, I've got a lady that's coming, and we're going to do sleep, and we're going to do sleep two sessions because of all the things that people need, sleep is the one. It's the one where you get the rest. So, Papa John, do this. Send me some of your information, and I will post it on my podcast.
Okay. Appreciate that.
It's a way to unwind.
Yep. Yeah, we talk about all different subjects here, and it's free flowing and just developing the friendship.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
And in the end, that's what counts.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Dr. H, what I do on Sundays is I do a little video that supports your friend's small business Sunday. And then I put 5 names underneath initially with their websites and say, here's the 5 people I'm supporting. But I started a new thing about a month ago. Whereas challenge number 2 is really stressful and really hard to do. Even Sue can do it without even blinking twice. You repost, go to LinkedIn and repost 10 posts. Pick 10, pick some you know, some you don't know. Just repost 10 posts. I'm getting, the first time I did it, I had 400 interactions and I thought, woohoo, that's pretty exciting. Second week, I had 700. Third week, I
Oh,
had
wow.
1,500.
Well, it's
Last
going,
week was over 3,500.
oh boy, I'm going up every time.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Oh wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Over
the way it's supposed to
3,500
work.
Yeah.
to interact with someone and just share a post, make a comment on it. Maybe, hey, this is a great idea. We need to share this. Or, wow, have you heard of this idea? Because you watch the post. It might take you 20 or 30 or 40 seconds to watch a post. You watch it, you make a comment on it, and then you repost it. And let me tell you, I am just absolutely blown away on what I'm getting out of there and the interactions that I'm getting from it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I see by the old clock on the wall. Do you remember that, Santa Papa John?
Oh, yes, I remember.
No, what do you, Sue? You don't remember that. I see by the
If
old
you
clock.
wait a minute, I'm waiting. I'm creating a flyer from ChatGPT for you. Give me a second.
I see by the old clock on the wall was George Goebel.
Yeah.
He came on Saturday nights, like about 8 o'clock. I never thought he was
Didn't
very,
Carol Burnett say that as well?
no, she had a different, she had like, it's time to say goodbye,
Yeah. Yeah.
but not farewell. That was her thing. And Bob Hope had something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he had. Thanks for the memories.
Yeah. Thanks for the memories or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
never
at
so
least,
often. Huh?
oh, and then I guess maybe more for Santa and Harvey. This coming Friday, we have, I know Kurt put something about it in the chat, but we have a guy by the name of Nick McGowan who's putting on a podcasting kind of workshop, podcasting stuff about podcasting. So if you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
are interested, it's this coming up Friday at 2 o'clock Central. So I'd bring up in case you guys are available or interested in and so on. So
I
yeah.
will I will look at that. And as for now, my friends, I have to say goodbye. It's time to
Oh,
go
I
Thank
eat.
you
have
for the wonderful conversation.
Thank you. I'm rooting for you, Papa.
show you
I
the flyer,
appreciate it.
Dr. Harvey. I
Oh,
gotta
he's
show you
gone.
this flyer. Oh, he's gone.
Yep,
He's
he's gone.
gone already. Yep. And Sue's on her way
Well,
to the lake.
here's what
We're almost there.
ChatGPT did. I put in his photo, and that's Dr. Harvey. That's what ChatGPT came up with, Dr. Harvey.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Dr. Harvey, but that's okay.
Yep.
Good outline though for a flyer. I'm gonna try and get the real photo in there. But anyway, thank you, Santa Papa John. Emily and Kurt, have a great day. Aloha.
All right, guys. Have fun. Be careful, Sue. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you, Santa.
Oh,
We'll
we
talk
actually
to
have
you guys
Project
again.
Die Hard Mission Monday update coming up in just a half hour. So I'll be doing that from the lake. But yeah, Project Die Hard always has Mission Monday update, 6:30 on Monday evenings. So tune in to Project Die Hard on YouTube or on Facebook.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.